Hi everyone, my name is Remy, and today you're listening to the Weekly Outdoors. Well, again, welcome everybody listening to the podcast. Today is our second recording of our first series of the Weekly Outdoors podcast. Join together with the website, theweeklyoutdoors.com. Give it a visit and let me know what you think about it. Today I have a special visitor. He's not really visiting the studio, but he is here in spirit and also via Skype. It's my dear friend Pepijn.
Hi.
Hey, man. I think I will call you Pip from now on.
Sure.
Because I'm used to it.
That's my name in English. The short version of my name in English, so that's okay. Yes, and you always do it anyway, so.
Okay, good.
Completely annoyed.
So yeah, welcome to the welcome to the podcast.
Yes, thanks for having me, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. So yeah, last week we had the first episode with me and Luke. We are the founding followers of the Weekly Outdoors. But we had a little bit of difficulty with the scheduling this week. So I immediately took the chance to have our first guest in. And, you know, I know you for a few years. So I know you're an outdoors person.
Yes. Well, a few is an understatement. We've known each other quite some time.
Yeah, pretty long. I don't know what age we met.
It must have been at least 10 years now, I think.
Yeah, easily,
yes.
I mean, how many years are you living in Germany now?
This year will be 7 years. So
yeah. Oh, yeah. Then it must be
11 years.
More than
11
that.
or 12 years. It was with the theater group. But that's a story that's a subject for something else. That's nothing to do with.
Oh yeah, but you know, I'm active in theater. People know that if they listen to the first one, of course.
Yeah, I obviously
that's
didn't.
how Luke and I met. So
I obviously didn't from that comment, but that's okay.
That's fine.
We also did a lot of outdoor stuff.
Yeah, we did. We did. I mean, I've been to your house. What is it? 3 weeks ago? Or 4 weeks?
A little bit longer. I think about 5 weeks even. Maybe.
5 weeks. Time flies.
Yeah, time flies a lot.
I went to Germany to visit you, and we went climbing, and we almost went cycling, but I didn't bring my mountain bike.
Yeah. I even offered you the bike of my fiance, but you wouldn't. But
yeah, I know.
The mountains, hills were too much for you.
The hills are alive.
With the sound. No, I'm not gonna sing. That's never a good thing.
Maybe not. Okay.
No.
Yeah, it was not because we went mountain biking in Germany before when you
when I first moved here. Yes.
Yeah,
you were actually. You actually visited me here the first weekend I lived here. My father brought me here when I was living at friends the first few months.
Yeah.
He brought me here on a Wednesday, and on a Friday evening you came by after work and you had your mountain bike, and I remember you arrived at around 6 and they were still on holiday, so I was there alone, and we fixed up our bikes, put in some pizzas, and we actually did a night tour on the mountain bikes. I found a picture recently where you see nothing and then you see like a lot of lights shining into the camera, but those, if you look very closely, you can still see that it's the lights we had on our handlebars.
We had like at least 2 big lights on every steering wheel.
Yeah, you had 2 big ones and 1 small one, and I had like 5 small ones because the big ones. I didn't have any big ones. I only had small ones. But
it's not the size that matters.
No,
it's the beam of light that it produces. Yeah, of course.
It's actually
that was nice because I remember I came in very late into Germany. I still drove my Nissan that time.
Yeah, the red one.
No, the gray one. The big sedan.
I have in my head it was a red one. I have in my head it was a red one, but that's okay.
No, I have the red Honda now.
Yeah, you have the small one. Yes.
Yeah, that's the new one.
I thought the other one, the old one, was red as well, but that's okay.
No, it was dark gray.
It was.
It was an old beast.
Yeah, it was
I bought the car when it was. I bought the old car when I was 15 years old, and I drove it for 10 years.
Wow.
That car was amazing. But I drove to Germany that fast that I blew up the exhaust.
You did? You never told me that.
Yeah. I still remember that I came in late because the first time I arrived at your friend's house, it was late at night. It was warm, so I had my window open. And normally it's quite a high-pitched engine, but now I had my window open. It was like... I was like, what's going on?
Yeah,
it's not my engine sound. So yeah, I just blew up the whole last part of my my exhaust pipe.
Oh damn! I didn't even know that. I didn't even know. You never told me that.
But
at least I don't remember you telling me that. It could be that you told me, but I don't remember you telling me that.
We've been talking a lot that weekend, so yeah. I don't know if I told that.
No. And you so that was a really cool weekend because you came by with mountain bike. I had the old black and white super heavy mountain bike, the full suspension thing. You remember it?
Yeah. It was more like a downhill.
Yeah, it was sort of like a downhill bike, and it was super heavy, and nothing worked, and it was just terrible. And so we biked that weekend a bit, and then it was really fun. And you came by like 2 weeks later again. Or maybe 3 weeks, and then we actually went on that weekend and we bought my new mountain bike, which I still have, and we went mountain biking. And during my first trip on my new mountain bike, somewhere in the freaking middle of nowhere, you managed to break your chain. I still remember that your chain, you were just bam, and it was all over the place. Oh,
I had to skip home.
Yeah, because
we were quite lucky because we were up. In the hills / mountains.
We were up.
So, yeah, the biggest part I could just roll and skip a little. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that was...
I broke a few chains in my days.
Yes. I actually need to fix my mountain bike because on the front of my... so where my pedals are, I have the gears. One of the discs where what's the English word for it?
Sprockets.
Sprockets. Yeah, it's got a slight bend in it, and you actually notice it. So I need to ask a friend who has got a press and just put the entire thing in a press and just press the bend out of it. Oh, hi cat. So if you hear something in the background, that's my cat.
It's just a cat.
It's just a cat.
Okay. I can verify because I have a webcam up right now, so I can see the cat.
Yes, I'm not doing anything weird.
It's just the cat.
As far as he can see.
It's not Pip that starts purring. It's the cat.
Yes.
Yeah, good.
Yes.
I even on my current, I have 2 mountain bikes now. One is hanging on the wall. I'm not sure what's the status of that. It's the newest one, but it's a light one. It's a small one. And the big one that I took to Germany as well, I still have it. I really grinded down all the gears, so it needs to have a change of gears and chain because it's not running well anymore.
Well, that's easy enough to do. I mean, I remember.
Yeah.
I remember actually when I was still living in the Netherlands that. We used to bike a bit as well there. I remember one of the last weekends I was in the Netherlands. We did a tour around the polder with our bikes, and we ended up at the Pannenkoek restaurant close to where we live and ate pancakes there and drank beers.
Yep, that was a nice trip.
Yes, but I also remember a couple of times where I took my bike over to your place, and you in your basement you had this entire contraption on the ceiling where you can hang up your bike and fix it.
Oh yeah, the rig, yeah.
Yeah, you have a rig for it. Oh, the cat's coming back.
That's a nifty construction to lift up your bike and have some maintenance on it.
In all honesty, if I had a room where I could do this in our house, then I would definitely do it. But I just don't have a real room for it. I don't want to do it in my living room or in the hallway because it's just not good for that, but having such a rig is quite practical, especially since I now live close to the forest and want to get into more into mountain biking again. I used to live in the city of, as you know, you've also visited me there in Düsseldorf, but there's not a lot of mountain biking there. And where I live now, there's Well, on this side of town, we have, next to my house, the forest where you can do some good mountain biking. But on the other side, we have an actual downhill trail with various difficulties, which is an official mountain biking trail.
All right.
It opened like last year. It's what I've seen from it. It's really cool.
Yeah.
And I definitely want to go check that out. But I need to get my bike in order first, I suppose.
Yeah, it's always something.
Yes.
But it was nice, these biking weekends and trips.
Oh, and they're so good for you. I remember that first weekend, I tried to bike up the road, the road into the area where the friends lived. You remember that, right? You have to go up the hill with a car. And the first few weeks, I was unable to do this. I was in such bad shape, and
because it's a long climb. Yeah?
It's a long climb, and
it is.
It's a technical climb because it's curvy as well. But I was in super bad shape. I wasn't technically very good. But I actually felt myself improve in such great steps during those first few weeks when I was there. I probably would not be able to go up there right now because I'm in a bad shape again. But yeah, I'll get there.
Yeah, don't worry. I mean, you moved to the forest, so now you can do your all-terrain bike stuff again.
Yeah, definitely.
That's nice.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Although
I do.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I no, I do like the mountain biking, the all-terrain bikes, so much more. I mean, I do understand people driving through cities and making long rides, but I'm more like the short, intense trips. Although short, we went out for a few hours, so it's not really short. But then again, we took a few breaks and everything. We also had a few kids from the block in Germany joining us, right?
Well, no, not really. We had the son of our friend joining, and one neighbor kid. There was this one neighboring girl that always wanted to come mountain biking. So those two.
Yes, because I remember we were with two other kids.
Yeah, and then that one day was one of the last days. I actually have the tracking data still. I actually recently took a looked at it. But we did a big trip during the day with my new mountain bike, and then when we got home, and then the friends had the idea to go somewhere to eat. And we actually, the three of us,
we drove there by bikes.
We drove there by bikes, and both of us drove back. And their son, they took him back with them in the car because it was too late for him, so he had to get home really quick. But it was really cool.
Yeah,
it was some good times.
Oh yeah, that's what I remembered. Yeah, now I know what I remembered because I did remember.
Yeah. It doesn't you don't come across as remembering it though, in all honesty.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
I don't have a cap to prove it, so you have to believe me.
That's exactly the truth.
It was really nice. I really enjoyed the weekend there. Also because we joined to go mountain biking, and we had so much opportunity to do that. And the last time I visited you, we were planning to go climbing, and that's what we did.
Yes, we actually climbed twice.
Yeah, well, it was indoors, and I don't mind because that's what I'm used to.
Yeah, bouldering indoor is in my opinion still one of the better ways to do it. Of course, an outdoor bouldering gym would still work, but I've been to a few outdoor, like they're like indoor halls, but they're just outdoor. Like we had Ayers Rock, they have an outdoor wall as well, but it's But you notice the difference because the grips are so much more worn and so much more slippery that you don't get good grip on them. And the actual indoor areas, they usually, because of the conditions, they have just way better grip, and that's why for at least bouldering for now, maybe it will change if I ever get better at it. I do also prefer the indoor gyms.
Well, it's interesting because I remembered it the other way around.
For me?
No, that's the way I experienced the outdoor versus the indoor, the artificial walls That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
That the outside walls, at least here in Zoetermeer, at Irish Rock, the outside wall is the grips are so rough because they're in the rain and they're just the weather just bites away on them, I guess. So they're so much more rough.
Yeah, maybe it's because they're maintained better.
They're worn and I don't know.
Maybe it's because Irish Rock maintains their stuff better. It could also just be
I don't think they do outside. No.
Okay.
I don't think they do.
Where I was, the outdoor areas were... Bleh.
It might be they're just old blocks they placed outside.
Yeah.
That's possible. Because, a new block would have good grip and a worn down block would have less grip.
Yeah, true.
Because it's worn down. So
yeah, true.
That might make a difference. I'm curious to hear what the listeners are having for their experience with an artificial wall.
Please
the
let
indoor
me,
compared to the outdoor. Yeah.
Please if any one of them comments, please let me know that they did, because I want to read that comment as well.
Yeah, I will. Yeah. Yeah, they can do it on any platform. They can do it on we're on the SoundCloud, we're at the Podbean, we are on Facebook, we are on YouTube, not many videos yet. And you can also send an email to podcast@theweeklyoutdoors.com.
Is the podcast going to be on YouTube as well, by the way?
No, not these podcasts yet. No.
Oh, okay.
In the future, we might do. Yeah.
Okay.
Then you can see the studio. That's the only difference.
Or if I'm ever invited again, if I don't misbehave completely, then the Skype convo, which would also be, of course.
I'll leave that decision to the listeners.
Yes,
if you want to have feedback, then vote yes.
I actually
like and subscribe.
What I really thought was cool about last time you were here with the climbing was the second time. The Friday when we met up to climb. I didn't really. It was okay, but didn't really enjoy it that much because the gym was not that great.
It was a different gym, but the thing I liked that. They had, the regular walls. They had the overhang, and they were also creating some alternative.
The alternative climbing parts were really cool, like the pillar hanging in the middle where you could climb up.
Yeah, it was like a suspended pillar.
Yeah, that was really cool. But the rest, I thought it was a bit overpriced for what they offered. In all honesty,
all right. It might be.
I expected more from them.
But you also had to rent your gear.
Yeah, but even if I hadn't, even if I didn't need to, if I need not have rent my gear, I don't know. I forgot how to English, people. I forgot how to English. Just the regular.
I forgot how to English.
Yeah. I mean, take a look at where we were the second day. It was the same price, but
there was.
It was a specific bouldering gym, but we had. We were there way longer than the first day because there was just so much to do.
True, but the bouldering is a different way of artificial climbing, I believe. I had this talk with Luke as well, and Luke has never bouldered before, so I'm still. I'll promise you, I'm still going to take him bouldering one day, and he's going to love it.
You guys should come over to Germany, and we'll go to that bouldering gym again.
We can. It was Monkey really cool. Something we went bouldering?
Monkey Spot. It's in Düsseldorf. They actually have two locations. The one I always go is in Düsseldorf, and but they have also got a second one in Duisburg, which is a little bit further north.
I don't believe they're on the websites yet, so they should. They should come on to the website, man, so everybody can find them.
Yeah, well, I'll let them know that we made a little bit of advertisement for them in this wee little thing.
Yeah,
well,
again, everybody who likes doing outdoor activities, just especially when you're interested, if you haven't climbed before and you're interested in climbing, just go ahead and try.
Yes,
it doesn't hurt.
Although, if you want to try, I'd actually am more inclined to say try bouldering first and then normal rock climbing, because bouldering is something you can really, really just do on your own. You actually don't need anyone, and with climbing you need a secondary person that will secure you, and which of course is better for a social aspect. But on the other hand, you're always dependent on other people. And if you...
Yeah, okay, so, but the thing is that don't go try it on your own. Take someone who's a little bit more experienced or really experienced. So it's just like skiing. You don't go skiing on your own. At least I did, but...
I did that with snowboarding. It works.
I'm just stupid. But if you want to learn something, if you want to try something out, make sure to try it in the right way with someone who knows just a little bit more, so they can hand you the first step, so you don't, do something wrong or dislike something because you did it wrong.
Yeah,
that will be
definitely.
A waste of time and trial.
I agree.
So yeah.
But
then again, I like all kinds of climbing sports. So if you want to try something, try the thing you like. You probably would like best. So you have the highest chance of succeeding in loving it and trying it again.
Plus, there's a lot of good footage on YouTube. I think it's the
trainings, yeah.
ST or IFCS, I don't know, International Federation of Climbing Sports, I think it is, so it's IFCS. They post all their matches, the live recaps of finals and semifinals are all viewable on their YouTubes. And I love watching the big bouldering and climbing competition. It's just basically, I just turn it on, zone out, I'm working and just have that in the background and listen to the commentary, and then sometimes have a look over, or when I'm at home. Plus it's very, the commentators usually are very explanative. It's not really an English word, but they are actually full of info. I've got a lot of tips and tricks from. They
share their knowledge from what they see.
Yes, because they're all climbers or ex-climbers.
Okay.
That are always there.
And it might be inspiring to watch something. I mean, I have that so many times. I'm definitely a YouTube user. I don't post that much at this point, but I watch a lot of YouTube videos, and in so many things, it can inspire you to watch someone do what they love, and then, someday you'll try it yourself.
Yeah, true.
It's really neat. Really neat.
The first step's always the hardest.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. So what's the last outdoor activity you've done?
The last... So what I did last was actually climbing. I went climbing like last week. I had to pick something up in Düsseldorf.
Yeah.
So, and decided instead of just driving there and back and wasting wasting the evening, spending money on gas and stuff, I was like, well, I could drive there, pick up the stuff, go to the climbing gym, and then go back. And I'm combining those activities. It all gets a little bit cheaper because I save a bit of money on gas because I'm doing two things at once. So that's actually last Wednesday I went climbing. Well, not yesterday, but like Wednesday last week. So yeah, I went bouldering in Monkey Spot.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah, my daughter is actually quite envious every time I tell her I'm going climbing. She wants to come. And
oh yeah, I remember because when I visited you guys a few weeks back, she was, Remy is coming and we're going climbing.
yeah. She was
going climbing with Remy. We're going climbing.
Yeah. And then on Saturday we brought her, and 90% of the time she would be just jumping on the big mats that are below it to protect you. In the children's area, but a few weeks later, I went climbing again with her and with a neighbor and his small kid. He has a small kid in Milu's age, and she actually, I don't know if I sent the picture to you yet, but she actually at some point she was like 1.5 meters up the wall. In the children, you remember they have this small kids area where kids can learn how to climb. But in this kids area, she just started climbing up, and then all of a sudden she was like a meter and a half up the wall. And then of course she was like, okay, now I want to get down. It's a bit high, and I'm scared. And then Daddy, take me down from the wall. I want to jump again. But so she actually is starting to show an interest, and last night we were watching the one of the competitions on YouTube, the bouldering competition, and now she since yesterday evening. She's like, Daddy, will you build me a climbing wall here in the house so I can climb here as well? She's like 3 years old. So now I have to build her a climbing wall.
You're feeding her inspiration.
Yes,
I see.
Yes.
So buying posters of climbers and...
Yes. But the last outdoor activity besides climbing and mountain biking I did would be snowboarding.
Oh yeah.
I went to the Alps in the end of March for 10 days of snowboarding in France.
Because you have been snowboarding for a few years already.
I actually used to snowboard in Snow World in Zoetermeer quite a bit when I was still living there.
That's an indoor ski.
Yeah, it's an indoor ski slope.
Yeah.
I would be there most of every day. So most of my free time was spent there in the fun park. They have a really good fun park. Yes, ever since I moved to Germany, I haven't been snowboarding quite as much because I'm further away from indoor slopes and other expenses and how things go. But yeah, in March I went to France to now I can't remember the name.
Somewhere in France.
Yeah, it's in the French Alps. It's a really nice area. Not Les Arcs. Les Arcs is next to it. La Plagne.
So you went.
Yeah, I remember it. It's called La Plagne, and it's. So I went there with my aunt, and we had awesome weather, and the slopes there are really great. They have a lot of blue slopes. They have a nice selection of red slopes. But yeah, it goes all the way up to 3,200 meters on all the way down to around 1,200 meters, so you can do a lot of fun things there. So yeah, that's the last activity I did besides climbing and mountain biking.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's all good.
Yes.
Good and active.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I try to be. I should be more active because nowadays most of the week, even in the evenings, is spent sitting on the couch, watching television, waiting for Milou to go to bed and sleep, and then sleep as
Drinking a beer.
Drinking a beer, yeah. So I've got that whole dad bod going on. I should really get rid of it. But yeah, we'll see.
So I'm curious to know because I don't sit still. I just can't. I can sit still
I can't either.
For a little bit.
I mean, it's not like I'm sitting, but I'm not precisely sitting still. I'm constantly tapping my food.
Well, but what I mean is I can't sit and do nothing. When I realize I'm doing nothing, I have to do something.
Yeah, but I don't realize
it can be just
it.
making a mess. I just grab a piece of wood and start cutting or carving or anything. I need to do something. It's even when I'm watching a interesting film or watching videos on YouTube. I can't sit still and watch. I need to do something with my hands while I watch. And I have the same with the outdoor activities. When I start to realize I've spent so much time indoors, I want to go outdoors again. And when I have spent a lot of time outdoors and I come back in, I'm like, okay, when can I go out again? I really start to starting to get a feeling that I need to get out even more.
I know what you mean. Yeah, it's maybe I used to be a lot like that, and I still can't sit still, like I said. But
is it since you're a dad or?
Well, no, I think
your life changes when such a big influences changes
yes,
you. I'm
definitely.
not sure how the listeners are handling those changes in their life when they are doing some kind of activity. I mean, it can be anything you normally do. When you get a kid or get a relationship or move to a different to a different city or something.
I think that's been the crux for me. I think not as much the kid, because of our girl, I'm a lot more active because you've met her. She's super strong and she's super active. So actually, if she's awake, and she's feeling well, there's a lot of times that she's like, Daddy, I want to play catch, and then she will be running around the living room like 10, 20, 50 times trying to catch each other. I think for me the biggest crux was when I moved from Rheinbreitbach, which is where I lived with friends, to Cologne, which is in the center, where I moved into the center of the city without much out to go outdoor. It was just city. There was no hills. There was no forest really nearby. So I rode my bike a couple of times there, but it was missing. It was just missing something.
So the area was less inviting for you.
Yes, it was just city, and
which can still be awesome outdoors. But I get it when there's not.
Course.
Of course. I think the outdoors really asks for a little bit of nature.
Yes, definitely. When I moved to the city, for example, I started doing slacklining, which is also a great outdoor activity.
Oh yeah.
It's basically this. I cleaned up my room. Otherwise, I could have shown you on the webcam, not the listeners.
It's
course,
still a podcast, so it's just audio.
Yes. No, but it's
I would be able to, if you would be able to show me, I would be able to describe to the
Well, I can describe it. It's basically if you don't know what slacklining is.
Yeah, but I've never done it.
Walking.
So okay, hold on. I've never done it. I have seen it on videos, never in real life. So I've never been able to try it. So explain me how it works and how you experienced slacklining for me.
So it's basically a flat cable, it's used, for example, to make things
So it's not a rope. It's
not a rope.
Band.
It's like a
ribbon.
A sort of a thick ribbon. You see it in truckers have it. They can use it to put it around containers, and they make sure that the stuff that is in their truck bed doesn't go anywhere. They can just
that's the best description ever. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how to describe it. A slackline.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
And it's
if people know what slacklining is, they would agree with you. It's something you describe. Yeah.
And it's put up between two trees or two posts that are solid in the ground. Usually it's with trees. Obviously, when you're using trees, please do always use an extra mat to protect the tree, because the tension on it can actually damage the bark of the tree, and we don't want to harm nature.
Nope.
We do that enough as is. And it's basically tightrope walking on a flat cable, which got tension on it.
Okay, but then again, is it not just a easy way of rope dancing?
No, I've done both actually. Back in Cologne we had a company event where we went to a sort of a circus, but not a circus where you just go and watch, but a circus where you go and you participate and you get taught circus acts.
Nice.
And we did tightrope walking there, and it was actually during the time when I used to slackline quite a bit. And there's a difference, because a tightrope is round, so it's the pressure on your foot is completely different, and you can use your foot, you can use the side of the rope to balance yourself out. And with the slackline, it's flatter, but it's because it can still go all directions. You don't have this that you can hold on to the side of it, because it can rotate.
Okay.
So the moment you try to use the side to hold on, it will rotate, and the rope will not do this. The tightrope. But yeah,
I see people jumping and doing flips and everything on.
Yeah, I never done that.
Never done that. I was gonna ask, but how was your experience trying it?
Well, I tried. Well, jumping I did actually. So small jumps, which was really cool. But flips and stuff like that, or just like jump up and then let yourself get caught on the chest, like catch yourself with your chest on the rope and then jump back up on your feet, stuff like that. I never did that. I just did a basic jump. I think I tried a 180 once and fell down to the ground miserably. But just the walking, it's really, really quite interesting and really, really quite hard. Especially what most people think is the hardest part is keeping the balance, but it's actually staying on your feet, and not because you're losing your balance, but because the muscles. It's you're slightly bent. Okay. You're standing there with slightly bent knees, and you're trying to force balance. Normally, if you try to keep your balance, you stand up straight, as straight as you can, with straight legs, which makes it easier to. But try and keep your balance on a vibrating piece of rope with bent knees. The more you try it, the harder it gets, and that was one of the hardest parts. When I was learning to slackline, I actually stood on a slackline 2 weeks ago. I was at a bachelor party of a friend of mine, and we were at a hotel, and at the hotel there were some other people, and they put up a slackline, and I was drunk, and I was like, yeah, I want to try it again. It's been so long, and it was.
So maybe you've done a few flips, but you don't really.
Yeah, I forgot probably. Yeah. I probably did a few flips and forgot. That must be the
case. That's brilliant.
No, but that's what happened for me when I moved to the city, because that's how we got on it. Is for me the biking kind of lost its flair, because. Yeah, I missed driving through nature. One of my fondest memories of mountain biking is I took a day trip once on my mountain bike, and I was driving through a field, and there was this big ass bird, like it was a hawk or something, and it was sitting on a post, and I saw it in the distance, and as I drove up to it, it flew up, and it actually flew right next to me, like for 50, 100 meters, and just parallel to me, and was just observing me, and then it flew off, and I was just looking at it, and then almost drove into a small post which was standing in the middle of the forest. But you don't have that in a city. You have like cars and smog.
No, there can be a
annoying
car
other people
coming aside.
Yeah,
but
it's like the urban jungle, but
it's
not my jungle. Hashtag not my jungle.
But then I know you as an outdoor person because of what you've done already, and you like are doing multiple sports already, like the snowboarding and mountain biking, and it's not a weekly or daily thing. That's I mean, we're not professionals. We don't have to be. No. That's why we call it the weekly outdoors. Once a week is nice to have something.
Is monthly okay as well? Because for me, it's more like monthly.
Well, no, it depends on. That's what I said. I like to get out more, and I like to. It's not just going outside, because I see a lot of people coming. I work in the office. I see a lot of people coming in work, and to get to work, they have to go outside and then come inside again, but they don't realize they've been outside because they only complain about the weather and traffic. That's
true.
I mean, anytime you go outside, you should be able to enjoy this. And that's why I think the weekly outdoor should be something like a state of mind and a mindset that just go outside once a week, realizing you're stepping outside, and enjoy that one tree in the middle of a square where there's just concrete all around you, but that one tree is still nature. It's still outside. And when we were young, we loved the rain on our face during summer, at least. Not in the winter when we were cycling.
In the winter, we loved
during summer.
In the winter, the snow.
Yeah. And now when we're adults, we have
as long as I can remember.
Yeah, but now we have to complain about it because it jams traffic, and it's dangerous, and
blada.
So what
I don't understand that either. In all honesty, in that aspect, I'm the same as you. It's for me, I never feel rushed when I'm out when I'm driving to work. A lot of people are like, oh yeah, now you're missing the traffic light. Oh, that'll be 2 minutes late. Yeah, then so what?
Oh yeah, we all see them. We might be part of it sometimes, but we can all see people rushing into traffic, and they don't enjoy anything.
No,
but that's that's a bit of stress, I think, and
I actually sometimes what I do is especially when I come from work, I do this, and it's not because I don't want to go home before someone accuses me of that. But I occasionally just take a detour when driving home. Well, sometimes the detour is faster, but I have this section of road to get here. It's a detour, but it's just such a beautiful scenery to drive to.
Yeah.
And I'll just be in my car, I'll turn down my windows, and I'll just driving really chilled, and then just enjoy the of course pay attention to the road because you're driving.
I've done exactly the same thing because I sent you a message that I was in traffic, and the first thing I did was just leave the highway and just go through country.
But in the Netherlands you don't really have country anymore. You just have polder.
But then again, driving along a canal with boats is so much better than stuck into traffic.
True. I love driving, but I don't enjoy driving autobahn or highway.
No. No, there's a difference. Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to Zealand a few days ago, and
I saw.
you're huh?
I saw it on.
Yeah. So I and then you just drive and you go through the Botlek. That's the big industry close to Rotterdam, and it's all big gas tanks and exhausts and flames and smoke and bad smell and just from one point to the other, nature starts, and it's all just one big green landscape. It's amazing. It's just amazing. True. I really enjoy that point in the drive there, that nature just starts. I really love that.
Yeah.
So how about you?
We have that here. We have that here, of course, where I live, because I don't live next to the highway. You've been here. Yeah. Is my entire area. I can take so many detours and have nature all around. I really like this.
Yeah, the Netherlands doesn't have that much nature, especially not at the coast. So I have to do with a little drive, but that's fine.
You just have to. But I'm wondering. More often.
Yeah, okay, that's true. It's true. Maybe I will. I think I will.
You're always
I'd like to ask you that. Thank you. If you want to be more outdoors yourself, how would you do this? How would you get yourself outdoor, you think?
Well, for now, of course, because we have our little girl and we have the forest right next to our house. You've seen this.
We've been walking there.
You actually mentioned it in the last podcast. That's what I so far I came in the podcast and I heard that and I was like, oh, that wasn't my place.
Yeah, you missed the buddy system, but you can listen to the first episode later on.
Yeah. So what right now, if we do have, of course, a great reason to get outside, and that is we can go out with our little girl and walk through the forest and show her how amazing nature is, and we do that from time to time, obviously. But also we have a lot of great parks here, great animal parks close by where we can go with her. So actually, she helps in driving us outdoor more, but also she hinders because, well, it's a lot of it's great to have a kid, but it also gives you more work to do around the house and less time to do this more work in. So it's a struggle.
But it's good to know that if you're having a kid, that part of raising your kid is showing them what's beautiful.
It should be.
So going out with your kid is amazing, because then you show your kid what you like to enjoy about being outdoors. I really like the fact that we went walking and kids are lower to the ground, and in the first episode you can hear Luke and me talking about the details in nature. That kids always focus on details instead of just we have to walk so far, and that kids really focus on details. That's really beautiful. So next time you go walking with your little kid, pay attention to the things they will pay attention to.
Well, she actually still last time she mentioned you when we were in the forest with her because you were always pointing out little mouses to her.
Oh yeah,
I saw a mouse there, and then she's like, "Is there a mouse? Remy saw a mouse," and it would be like that. It was so much fun.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah,
awesome.
Kids are great.
Yeah, I don't have them, but I think I know that your kid is great.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you. Now it's official. Now it's internet official. It can never be undone.
I'm just a grown-up kid. I mean, I will never get.
But that's the best way. That's the best grown-up.
I think so.
Yeah, it's you shouldn't. No one should lose touch with his or her inner child or its inner child if you're being.
No, if the possibilities of a kid are yours, then keep them. If they're good, keep them.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, Pip, that's all we have time for today.
That's okay. Well, it's not okay. I could talk for hours, but.
Oh yeah, we could. And if the responses are good enough, then I'll be sure to have you back on the podcast sometimes. Maybe I'll drive towards you and we'll do the recording at your place.
Yeah, of course. That would be cool.
And for anyone else who's listening, if you have a story, if you have your experience, or you know someone who has this and you want to hear them on the podcast, have them send an email to podcast@theweeklyoutdoors.com. And if you're interested in our website, just have a look at theweeklyoutdoors.com. Just take a look around. I don't have to explain the feature of the website. I think we'll explain itself. Otherwise, just listen to the first episode. Yeah, I'll talk about it next week with Luke again. We'll go more in depth why the website is there and how you can use it. I guess I don't know. We'll have to see that next week. We don't prepare anything. It's just a nice chat about being outdoors. So Pip, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, well, you're more than welcome, and I hope to see you soon. And
yes.
For now, I wish everybody a very nice week, and hope to have you back in the next episode.